Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Thundurus card, which is going to be coming out in GG The End, the new set in Japan. And this one's kind of cool. Now, I do need to mention that it does form a little bit of a partnership with Tornadus. We will be looking at Tornadus extremely shortly. I'm going to be uploading these videos very close together. But it is really a card which exists kind of in and of itself and does deserve its own video. So, what does it do? Well, I should mention our translation comes from the lovely Hochmann. And I should also start off by having a little bit of a look at the basics. Now, to start off with, we don't like 120 HP. 120 HP means that Zoroark can go and get a one-hit KO. That's a very bad thing. Similarly, we don't like the weakness here. It's a lightning Pokemon. It's weak to fighting. Fighting is a bad weakness to have. Partly because there's stuff like Buzzwole running around, and partly because there's stuff like Pikarom, which is awesome. So people are going to be playing fighting stuff to hit that for weakness, and they're going to end up hitting you for weakness as well, which is a very bad thing. But then again, one of the reasons why Pikarom is so good is because of all these tricks that lightning Pokemon have at the moment, like Electro Power so that all your attacks can do an extra 30 damage, like Thunder Mountain so your attacks cost 1 lightning energy less, like Tapu Koko that accelerates 2 energy from the discard, 1 to each of 2 bench Pokemon when you Lost Zone it. Make no mistake, it is a great time to be a lightning Pokemon, and that's even bearing in mind you're not really hitting anything relevant here for weakness. The retreat cost of 1 is nice and low and means we can use Escape Board, which is quite nice, and you've got a resistance to metal. It's not terribly relevant with the Pokemon we've got around at the moment, but having a resistance to anything is still pretty gosh darn good. But what does it actually do? Well, according to the lovely Hochmann, the first attack for just 2 colourless energy does 20 damage, which is not good. But if you've got Tornadus on the bench, then all of a sudden you do 70 damage. 70 damage for a double colourless energy, ladies and gentlemen. That's really quite good. That is incredibly efficient use of your energy. Incredibly efficient damage. Now, as a quick side note here, there is a Tornadus GX, but remember that Tornadus and Tornadus GX are different cards with different names. Having a Tornadus GX on the bench will not give you the extra damage here. It's got to be actual Tornadus, not Tornadus GX. But this is really good. This is a basic Pokemon for a single energy that just does 70 damage. And 70 damage is one of those key numbers at the moment, because generally speaking, 70 damage will mean that you get a one-hit KO on all of these evolving Pokemon. Stuff like Zorua that's got 60 HP, he gone, but then you got stuff like Grubbin sitting there with 70 HP, which is going to be out of reach if you do 60, but this doesn't do 60, this does 70. The thing is, it's only 70 if you want it to be 70, because remember I mentioned Electro Power earlier. So, although it's not seeing a huge amount of play at the moment, Ho-Oh GX remains a pretty good Pokemon. So what you can essentially do here is use a single Electro Power or a Choice Band, either will do, and all of a sudden you're actually getting a one-hit KO on a Ho-Oh GX for a double colourless energy, turn 1. If you want to go a little bit silly with it, it's not even the silliest thing we've ever seen, not by a long shot. But if you go Choice Band, a single tool, 2 Electro Power and a Shrine of Punishment, then you're actually up to 170 and you're getting a one-hit KO on a Tapu Lele. Dedenne GX is going to be out by then, by the time this comes out, and that's got 160, so you won't even need the Shrine of Punishment, just a Choice Band double Electro Power one-hit KO. And I know that's a tool and 2 item cards, but it's a tool and 2 item cards to get a one-hit KO on a 2 prize Pokemon. That's cool, ladies and gentlemen, that's really cool. So the real hook of this card is nice, easy KOs. If you're hitting for weakness, this is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You should be getting a one-hit KO on anything with weakness. You might need to use Choice Band and maybe even an Electro Power, but honestly, that's fine. That's not that much because you're going to be getting 2 prizes. But you've also got evolving Pokemon here, and you're going to be getting all of them as well. And you're talking a single energy attachment on a basic Pokemon. This isn't exactly a difficult Pokemon to get rolling. This is really, really nice. I adore this first attack. Even if Tornadus is complete and utter garbage. And look, if he was complete and utter garbage, you wouldn't be getting his own video, right? So, yeah, it's really not too bad, Tornadus. You can use him. But even if he was utter garbage, it would be worth doing it for this. This is a Pokemon where early game you run through stuff. If you're hitting for weakness, you run through stuff. And you just roll. I mean, if nothing else, you could even do 70 damage to something, so that you then bring it into range of Pikarom, so that when you use a GX attack, you're doing 170 to that same Pokemon, and going ahead and getting a one-hit KO. Make no mistake about it, this is a great attack. Now, as for the second attack, 2 lightning, 1 colorless energy, 120 damage, and 40 to one of your benched Pokemon. This, again, is a pretty good attack. Now, to be fair, it is more expensive than we would like, but remember that I told you all about your Tapu Koko? And remember that I told you all about that Thunder Mountain? Well, Thunder Mountain plus Tapu Koko plus a single energy, and you're rocking and rolling, you're getting the energy on, you're fine. My biggest issue with this isn't how easy it is to meet the energy cost, because it is kind of easy to meet the energy cost. My biggest issue with it is you could use that energy cost for Pikachu and Zekrom to do 150 and accelerate free energy to another Pokemon. I think if you're putting free energy on a lightning Pokemon, or 2 energy plus Thunder Mountain, which is a Prism Star, and Tapu Koko is a Prism Star, you've got to be making the most of it. It's not that it's a difficult attack cost to pay, it's that I think the energy could be going somewhere better. In terms of the 120 damage, this is cool. 120 damage is quite nice. Now, you are 10 damage short of stuff like Buzzwole, which kind of sucks. But then again, you're doing absolutely fine because you've got Choice Band and you've got Electro Power. A Choice Band and an Electro Power, you're up to 180, and then something like Blacephalon or Rayquaza is going down in a single hit here. You can make it work. It's not the most powerful attack ever, but it can be kind of fun. I love the first attack because it's for a single energy attachment, double colorless, on a basic Pokemon. I am not such a big fan of this just because of the energy cost. But the other thing is you're doing 40 to one of your bench Pokemon. What we really want to do is make this work for us. Now, to be fair, there is a Stunfisk coming in the new set, which does extra damage for each of your damaged bench Pokemon. For a double colorless energy, it does 30 for each of your Pokemon with any damage counters on them. So that Stunfisk is fine, could be useful, etc. But really here, I'm looking more at Spiritomb. You see, Spiritomb is really, really good. This is the one coming in Unbroken Bonds. And the Spiritomb coming in Unbroken Bonds has a really nice attack that does 10 damage, plus 30 more for each damage counter on it, and it's got an ability that lets you put a damage counter on it. See where we're going with this? You attack with Thundurus, you put 40 damage on Spiritomb, the next turn you either attach a Rainbow Energy, which will put you up to 5 damage counters while giving you the requisite energy, or you use the ability and attach a Darkness, and then all of a sudden you're hitting for 160 for a single energy on a basic Pokemon, giving you a really nice attack. Plus it gives you a different weakness if something like Bayonet ever comes into the public consciousness again. So as much as I'm not loving the second attack, and I'm not loving the second attack, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am. I think there are better ways to use that energy. It's a decent amount of damage, Electro Power and Choice Band can mean you're getting the key KOs, and you can even make the bench damage work if you're playing something like Spiritomb. That's kind of cool. But make no mistake about it, Thundurus is here for the first attack. The first attack is what makes Thundurus really, really good here. Take out those basic Pokemon, take out those weak Pokemon, because even something like Zapdos, which is seeing a lot of play right now, you'll be getting a one-hit KO for a double colorless energy. Yeah, you got to have a Tornadus on the bench, but as we're going to see shortly, Tornadus is pretty gosh darn good. So you know what? This is cool. Incidentally, do make sure you check out my Tornadus video. I will pop a link in the description when it's up, but it's going to be like the video after this one, so it won't be too hard to find. Let's go and give this between 3 and 4 wassies. We don't give half wassies, that would be barbaric. I love the first attack, and I believe rather strongly there are going to be a bunch of games played with this where people aren't that worried, and then they turn around and they're down by a couple of prizes, and all you've done is just play a basic Pokemon with a double colorless. But I would like to know what you think about this, ladies and gentlemen, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember the rule, ladies and gentlemen. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about games that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.